Today we start chapter number 2, which is about the CSS and JavaScript, right? So this chapter has mainly two topics. First topic is the CSS and second topic is the JavaScript, right? So in first part, we will learn about what is the CSS and what is the use of the CSS, right? So first we try to understand what is the main purpose of the CSS. In previous chapter, you will learn about the HTML. So main purpose of HTML is to creating structure of the web page. That's it, right? Now, if you want to design that website, you want to enhance the look and feel, you want to enhance the appearance of your HTML website, then CSS will help to design our website. Using CSS, we can design all the elements which are available into the HTML using different properties and values of the CSS. Now, first we learn what is the syntax of the CSS. So, to write any CSS, we have to follow some special symbol for that is known as the rules, right? This syntax has mainly two parts. The first part is known as the selector part and the second part is known as the declaration part. Selector part is what? So, it decides on which element you want to apply this CSS. In HTML, whenever we create the web page, we use the different types of tags. We have the heading tag, we have the paragraph tag, input tags are there. Now, this particular CSS will apply on which element which are decided by the selector part. And the second is the declaration part. In declaration part, we will decide which property we want to change for our tags. Now, this is the syntax of our CSS. It has a three part. Selector part that decide on which you want to apply this designing property, which value you want to change and value of that properties. This is a simple example. Here we, as a selector part, we have given the H1 tag. So, whenever H1 tag will appear in our HTML page, right, its color comes into the green, right? So, this is a syntax of our CSS. Now we will learn how can we use the CSS into the composer. Now, before start with that, we have to check कि our composer by default enable CSS or not. So, how to check that? So, to check that, open the composer. In composer, goes into the tool options, right? In tool options, goes into the preferences, right? In preferences, we have the general tab. In that, you have to click on this using the CSS style. If this checkbox is not clicked, then CSS will not show, not applied on our HTML tag. So, this is the first thing you have to check before we start with the CSS. So, we already have checked this and we click on the OK. Now let's start the writing the CSS. Now, to write the CSS, first we create a new page, right? You already know how can we create a new page. So, we create a one blank document over here, right? Now, you can add the CSS by clicking the CSS symbol into the composition toolbar, right? For that, I have to save this page. So, I am giving the title of this page and save this page. So, this page is saved. Now, whenever we click, this is the first screen that will appear over here. Now, in this, we have to decide on which particular tag you want to apply this CSS that we will write later on. So, here I have selected style apply to all types of element. That means any element you can select from here. Here below that, the drop down list is given, right? It has all the different types of HTML tags available. Now, from this tag, you can select on which tag this particular CSS you want to apply. I select that, right? And after selecting tag, we click on the create style rule. So, this CSS we are writing for the H2 tag. So, whenever H2 tag will be there in our HTML form, this style rule will apply. Now, whenever you click on that, now this new dialog box will appear, right? In this dialog boxes, we have the 7 different tabs available. Now, the first tab is the general tab, right? It shows the code which are automatically generated whenever we applied any style. The next is the text tab, right? So here the different options are given, right? From that you will change any font or text of our H2 tag. For example, we have changed the font style, right? So here the different font style is given, so I am changing that, right? You can change the color as well, right? Change the color of the text. So I am selecting some color from this color, right? On the right hand side, I have want to change the case. That means whatever text I am writing, I want that text to be comes into the uppercase, right? You will set the alignment as well if you want to comes into the center, left, right. So these are the different font related settings available into the text tab, right? The second tab we have is the background tab, right? In background, basically we will set the two things. The first, we will change the background color, and the second, we can set background image. If you want some particular image comes into the background of our text, then we can set that. So this is the color options. From this, you can give any color, right, that you want as a background into the heading tag. And if you want to give any image, then image option is there. By clicking choose file option, right, you can select the particular image which are available in your system. Right now I am giving the some basic color for this. Now after that, the next tab we have is the border tab, right? This decide the any border you want to appear around the text, right? Now this has the two options you want. Okay, all side border will be same, right? So you have to put this checkbox. And if you want, okay, top, bottom, left, right, all borders should be different, then you have to uncheck this options, right? I want the same option, same types of border in all the sides. That's why I click on this. Now here the different styles of the border are given. Which type of border, dotted, solid, which type of border basically we need for this, right? So suppose I select the double from here, right? Preview will be shown over here. The second option we have is a width, that is the thickness of our border, right? We can say the medium. And if you want to give any specific color to that border, right, then also we can set over here. Okay, the rest of the tab will not apply for the heading, right, which are the box. Next is the list, that is basically used for the different types of list, and the oral tab. So we goes into the general tab again now. So you will able to see the code here, right? Initially this will totally blank, right? But now I am able to view the different types of code which are automatically generated over here. Now I click on the OK button. Now to apply this on our HTML page, what we have to need, we have to write the headings tags, right? So by going into the source tab, I add some basic HTML tag. Now, and I come back into the design. I have written two heading tag if it is not visible to you, H1 and H2. But whatever CSS we have written is for which color? That is, we are used for the heading tags 2, H2 tags. So in H1 there is a no CSS will applied, but in H2 our particular CSS will apply, right? So this is how you can create the different types of styling for the all the different tags that are available into the HTML in a composer. So I guess it's clear to you, right? So we have learned the what are the steps to create the CSS, what is the use of the general tab which shows the code which are generated by composer, text which show the different types of font setting, background, in background we can set color as well as image as well, border, give the bordering around the text. Now, lastly, we will learn about what are the advantages of the CSS. So, CSS has the main advantage, it separates the HTML code from the designing code, right? Again, if your HTML page has the multiple types of tag which are repeated, right? So, you don't need to write the CSS for each and every element separately, right? You can write the only one CSS that will apply to the all tags which are applicable, right? So using this, we can make our styling easier, right? Which reduce our code, which tends to the page overloader faster, right? And we have to very less code compared to HTML. But along with the advantage, we have some disadvantage also for the CSS. The CSS has the browser compatibility. That means it may happen your CSS will work perfectly fine into the one of the browser, will get some different output into the second browser, right? Because of the it has the browser compatibility, right? Some browser will not support the advanced feature of the CSS as well. Okay, so you may experience that you will not get the output as you want into the different browsers. Thank you.